Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learning about forms, how we can insert form to input data from the users. There are many elements of the form that I'm going to be discussing. So let's get started. HTML, which is forms, and how to create forms and input data. Up till now, whatever we studied in week 1, you have noticed that the HTML is static. There is nothing dynamic. Like you cannot take input from the user and make some decisions based on that input. So to make them a bit interactive, we will be using forms, and this is the chapter number 7 of your book. And we'll go forward. What is the purpose of form? Basically to collect data, and we will learn how to create forms on your website, different tools for collecting data, and so on. So basically this Google web page, this is basically a form. Why? Because it has this element. This is known as a text box. This is used to take input from the user. So that's a basic form. And we have, these are the elements we can add on the form. Text input, we can make a text box in which you can input any text, your name, phone number, last name, and so on. Then we can take password input in the form of these characters, hidden characters. We can make this. Then we can make a text area. If you have a lot of text to be typed, you can use text area. Then we have making choices. The next category, we can have radio buttons. Radio buttons, always remember, you can use only one option from a radio button. Then we have check boxes. You can select multiple options from a checkbox. And then we have drop down boxes. Drop down boxes are used to make multiple selections or a single selection, but when you have a lot of options. For example, a list of countries, if you display like check boxes, it will take up whole your web page. So you can use alternately a drop box or drop down menu item, which will have a list of multiple options. Then submitting forms, we have buttons, submit button. Then we have image button. We can create an image and make it as a button. Whenever you click a button, your data is submitted or uploaded. The last thing is uploading file. How you can also upload a file using forms, and how we create a form. Form sometimes look like this. It has multiple elements and so on. Now form, how a form starts with the form tag, and it also ends with the /form tag. The most important two things is the action that would be performed, okay, and the method to be used, right? Now what is action? Every form element requires an action attribute. Its value is the URL for the page on the server that will receive the information. For example, which page of your website will receive the information from the form and then process it. Here you give that page. It can be a web page, but mostly it is the page of your website. For example, if I click the submit button, the whole data, first name, last name, phone number, comments added, where it would go, which file will input the values and process them, save them somewhere in the database or display them, and so on. So about that information we will give inside the action attribute. Then we have the method attribute. We have basically two type of methods. One is known as a get method and other is known as a post method. We use get methods when in get method it is telling you the way you will transfer your data from one page to another. So in the get method, the data is transferred from one page to another in the form of the URL. Okay, what is URL? That is on the top window. It is embedded inside the URL. So the get method is usually used when we have short forms. There are not much data to be sent. When you are just retrieving data, there is no confidential information, because if data is going in the URL, it will be shown to everyone. So if you send your password via URL, it's not a good option. So use get method when you have short data plus your data is not crucial. Use post method when you have to upload a file, the data is very long and it contains sensitive data such as passwords or your credit card, etc., and the information goes in the form of HTTP headers. It is embedded inside the HTML file. So it would be very easy and beneficial if you have large data, long files, and some sensitive data. So it will not be shown to the users, it will go in the form of HTTP headers. with your HTML file. So it is safer to use post, and get is used usually when you have less data. The element of the form we would be talking about is text input. In it we have text boxes. So always we have to give like this: input, inside the form tag, here action, inside the form tag /form, we will give input type is equal to text. If we want to make text box, we will definitely give it a name. Name is equal to username. The size, any size you can give. Max length 30. It means that maximum letters you can type in there are 30. This is the output. Username, this username we have typed, it is coming here, and then the text box is coming because of this, a text box. For password input, you will give same method, but you will now give input type is equal to password. Name is equal to password, size is equal to 15, maximum length. Name you can give any name. It's not necessary to give password. You can give any name, but it should be different. It should not be username. So input type is equal to password. You will have this output. Okay, you will not see the text when you type it. Then we have here the text area. Text area is the one when you want to take comments. You have a lot of text to be typed, so you will use here the text area. Name is equal to comments, calls and rows. Here you have to tell how many columns and how many rows this text area would span to. So we have given calls is equal to 20, rows is equal to 4. Enter your comments. It's typed right here, enter your comments. So when you'll start typing, it will vanish and disappear, and you can type your comments. So whenever you want to give more, you want to type a lot of text, you can use this text area instead of a text box. I'm going to be talking about the form element, which is known as a radio button. And a radio button, as you know, looks something like this. Here you take options from the user, but the user can select only one of many options. Input type is equal to radio, we will give. Name is equal to genre. Value is equal to rock. Checked is equal to checked. Now checked is equal to checked means that automatically when you will run this script, this file, first radio button, which is this one, the rock one, it will be checked automatically. Now we are creating another radio button. The name of this radio button again is genre, you can see here, and the name of the third radio button is also genre. Why we are doing it? Basically we are creating a radio group, right? We want these three buttons to be inside one radio group so that only one of them is clicked. If we give different name, here we give genre 1, so it will become two groups. These two would fall in one radio group, this one will fall in another radio group. So you can select any one of these from this group, and you can select also this one from this group, this one. So we have to give same radio group means same name. For example, next I will give radio button of gender, so it will have different name because it will be a part of different radio group, and so on. And the value is equal to rock. The value is very important. Pop, jazz, it will tell you which radio button was clicked. Okay, next we will also do this, whatever was clicked in PHP. So you will have to remember the value will tell which radio button was clicked, and so on. Okay, so this would be the output. You can select any one of these options, and when you run, the rock one would be selected automatically. Then here we have checkbox. Again, input type is equal to checkbox. Name, value, checked is equal to checked. Automatically the first one, the iTunes, would be checked. And again we have type is equal to checkbox, name is equal to service. Third one, type is equal to checkbox, name is equal to service. Why are we giving name, service to all of them? Why? Because we want them to be the part of same checkbox group. These three checkbox fall in the same category, in the same group, but checkbox you can select multiple or all of them, right? Again, the value is very important here. Value iTunes, value Last FM, value Spotify. It will tell you which of the checkbox buttons were checked. Then we have the drop down menu list. Here you have select. First of all, select. You gave the name of this drop down menu list, devices /select. Then one by one you will give options. For example, if you have 20 options, you first will give option will start /option. Again 10 types you will give option, option start, option end, option start, option end, and so on. So I have created drop down menu list. The name of this drop down menu list is devices, and it has 3 items, these iPod, radio, computers, right, as you can see right here in this output. If we have many items, it will scroll down, up, down, and so on, right? So if you have 100 items, you will give this option tag 100 times. Okay, file input box. Okay, you can also upload files, as I have already told you. For that you will be using this input type is equal to file name is equal to this. Okay, and then we have also made a button, input type is equal to submit, value is equal to upload. So if you want to make, there were 3 types of button, this is the first type of button. So if you want to make a submit button, you will use write input type is equal to submit and its value upload. So it's showing upload on this one, and I gave input type is equal to file, that's why it's showing me like this, because we want to upload the file. About the buttons, the most important type of button is the submit button. It is basically used to send your data form to the server, right? This is very important. If you don't have a submit button, your data information, it will stay in the same page. The action one will not work until you have given the submit button. So in submit, we have the name of the button, you be sure to give the name of each and every item of the form, and value. Basically value tells that what would be displayed or shown on the button. So for example, if I have given input type is equal to submit, name is equal to subscribe, value is equal to subscribe. So the value basically is appearing here. When I'll click this button, action will be performed and it will take you to the subscribe.jpg page, and so on. And by default the method is get. You should remember, I haven't given any method here, so you should assume that the get method would be used. Sometimes you also make image as button, like for example, it is a simple button, but if you want to use an image, special animated image you have made for a JPG, so you can also make an image into a button. So for that, what will we use? Input type is equal to image, src is equal to this. What is this subscribe.jpg? Subscribes.jpg is the image that you want to insert, and that will, when you click it, it will work as a button and submit your data to the server. You can give height and width and so on. This would be the output. See, this subscribe is basically the image you have made in Adobe or somewhere. So this is all about buttons and everything. And again, you see here we have an input field which is named as hidden, type is equal to hidden. This field is sometimes used when you want to pass values from one form to another, but you don't want to show it to the user, just for programming purpose or your counting purpose and so on. So you can use this hidden field, but it won't be shown anywhere. You see right here, it is not showing anywhere. It's just the add button, which is from here, right? So these are the basic controls that are used in forms.